Hello and welcome to another video about the Pathfinders United. My name is John and today we'll be going over cold weather survival. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. Well, many people have a lot of issues with cold weather camping, mainly the cold. But don't be despair. There is ways that you can deal with the cold while you're out camping. The biggest issue is being prepared. Most people aren't prepared. They're not carrying the right equipment. They're not carrying the right gear in order to deal with the cold. They love camping, but the cold is something they just can't deal with. So in today's video, we'll be going over some of the gear and items that you would need to have a successful cold winter camping experience. So now we will transition to DJ in the classroom. Okay.
All right, good morning. All right, we're going to go into cold weather survival. All right, as we see, operating here in Virginia, temperature varies in 1 week, low 20s, up to a high of mid 60s. But cold weather survival does not always entail just the fact that you're in a warm weather climate, because like I told you in an earlier class, if the temperature drops drastically at night, meaning from operating temperature of 120 during the day down to 75 at night, you can still have issues with cold weather, all right, because your body has to be able to absorb that drastic change in temperature, and in a sense it will start going into cold weather survival mode. All right, so some things we're going to go over this morning is planning considerations, your 5 W's. We talked about that before backpacking, right? All these classes will lead up to one another. So some of the same things we went over in backpacking will apply to here in cold weather survival. And your packing list, ensuring that you have the proper equipment to be successful in the environment that you're going to go to. All right. So we're going to start with some of the most important things you probably can bring with you if you know you're going to an environment where cold weather survival is going to be important to you. All right. Some of the stuff that you can carry in your pockets, on yourself. Somebody give me one.
Compass.
A compass. You definitely want to know where you're going. You don't want to get lost out in the cold.
A map.
Map. Now we're talking stuff we can bring on us. You can't bring a map on in your pocket, but keep going.
I thought if you fold it.
Yeah, you can bring. I say you can bring a map in your pocket.
No,
Jump on me. Don't jump on me, please.
They're trying to get away.
Pocket knife. What else?
You still probably need your glasses.
You can have that lint and stuff in that little pill bottle in your pocket.
What's it called?
Fire starter.
What? All right. One more thing. I think you can fit in your pocket.
Water bottle?
Water bottle?
Well, it depends
Put
on
that
how
on
big your
our back.
pockets are.
We're gonna put that on our back.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on. The towel. You can also bring
Flashlight.
food. If it's like in a small bag, you can bring food.
So food items.
You could bring a flashlight in your pocket, but usually they're on your head.
Flashlight on your pocket. That's where we want to put it
Maybe
at.
a small one.
All right.
Yeah.
Flashlight.
Cause you know when it's cold outside, it gets dark quicker.
It's not dark all day now. He said in your pocket.
And then what else?
I'm just saying this. So if you don't have the fire starter, couldn't you put like pine needles in your pocket and let it keep your legs dry?
Pine needles. Which is we keep going down.
All right.
All right. We're running into a problem again.
That's it.
What's the problem we're running into?
Not enough space.
No. You can't fit that.
About to run out of pockets. You're going to have to put some more pockets on your clothing for what all you want to carry. All right. So your backpack still is going to be with you, but just some things that you want readily at hand. All right. Your multi-tool, your fire starter definitely, food items maybe, but you can have those in your pack also. And then this crazy item right here.
Whistle.
Why would I want that on me?
Just in case you get lost.
Just in case you get lost, but what more? Especially if made out of plastic. Go ahead.
SOS.
SOS. Go ahead. Elaborate.
Oh. SOS as in like if you say you fall over and like all your stuff falls out, so you have to put it all back in, but then no one notices that you fell, and you could just kind of be in the middle of nowhere, not knowing.
Right. So your whistle is helping to bring you back in. Your survival whistle is helping with, if I blow my whistle, my peers, my folks who I'm out with, be able to at least hear me and find out where I am if I get detached from the group. Everybody got that?
Yes.
All right. So we go over 5 W's. So we know we're going to a cold climate. So let's go with the high today is going to be 40. And the low is going to be 19. We already know what type of the year we're operating in. This has to be where?
Winter.
Winter.
Who?
Winter.
It's us, this group.
2 people. Whoa.
Let's go with 4. 4 people.
How many days? Okay.
We had the wind already. This is the type of the year. All right, what are we going to do? We're going to winter survival camp. We did the when already. We did the what, where. Let's go with
Can we put an H in there? How long?
Eastern Michigan.
Oh.
And we're going for 3 days. All right. This is enough information.
Yes, sir.
The Y is here also. Winter Survival Camp. We're going to earn our Winter Survival honor. Or not win, but be awarded. We're going to do the legwork in order to get our Winter Survival honor. All right? Let's go over the packing list. Some of the stuff that we're going to pack in our backpack now.
Okay.
And then we'll go over the worn list next. Let's go. Some of the stuff I'm going to pack.
You're gonna need
Wool
long
socks.
Socks. All right, just sign it off.
thermal underwear.
Thermal. Why thermal?
Cause it's gonna be cold.
And you're gonna need a polyester.
Keeps all your water here. Coat.
A
And a
coat,
hat that covers your ears.
hat. What else?
Gloves.
Gloves. There we go. Now we're thinking.
And not those dollars.
What else?
Boy, you're gonna need the boots with you too.
Say again.
Boots. If it's snowing, you need high boots.
All right.
You go ahead. Can you pack your 3-piece sleeping bag?
Sleeping bag.
You're gonna have the heavy sleeping bag.
There we go.
What about that hammock?
Heavy sleeping bag. What else?
You'll need sleeping mat
Sleeping mat. Why?
because
It's gonna be
even
cold.
though even though the sleeping bag is heavy, the ground's just gonna suck all the heat out of you.
Okay, so you want that barrier. Good job. Is that it? All right, what are we going to wear? So we already got 2 of them over here. Gloves, boot, hat.
Thermal underwear.
Polyester shirts.
You could just
Why
have
why polyester?
Because polyester doesn't like stick to you if you start to sweat or
Yeah.
water really.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
You're gonna need put long sleeves too, just to be safe.
And you have to pack food and water. enough for 3 days. No water for 3 days.
Is there gonna be a river there?
Not sure. Haven't seen it yet.
Alright, then. Yeah, we're gonna need a lot of water.
Don't you have a map though?
Are you?
Haven't seen the ground. It's covered up.
And it is really cold out there.
And it's winter, so even if I have a water source there
It's
in
frozen.
eastern Michigan,
It's still gonna
what's
snow.
probably wrong with the water source?
Frozen.
Probably frozen. So that being said is,
We can't
I might want to bring what with me?
Water.
Water.
Water. And what else is going to be very important to that? Even if I bring water, what's going to happen to my water on the way there?
Freeze.
Probably gonna
Oh,
It's going to freeze, so I want to ensure that I got,
some to heat the water.
there we go.
Okay.
So I need,
fire
starter.
we got that already, carried it in our pocket.
Stoves?
Stove or
Canteen.
canteen cup, mess kit. There we go. Now, all right, we want to try and get some warm liquids in us when we're operating in a cold environment. So, number one thing with survivability in a cold weather environment will be your clothing, hands down. Nothing is going to help you as much as what you actually have on yourself now. Two things with clothing: it can hurt you and it can help you. All right, it can hurt you. Number one, if you're wearing it incorrectly and wearing it at the wrong time, and it can help you with helping to bring your maintain your core temperature of your body. All right. So that being said, we're going to go over a few items that I have in front of you. Your hats. All right. 2 weeks ago, some of you didn't have them on, so I made sure that I always carry extras in my vehicle, mainly because my soldiers at work, they always forget theirs. So if they don't have them, then I have extras for them. Or me, I'm forgetful too, so I forget mine. And I ensure I have extras in my vehicle with me. But you definitely want a piece of headgear that's made out of mostly polyester and not cotton. All right, cotton's going to absorb liquids, meaning if you're working and exerting energy, you start sweating. That cotton's going to absorb it, and the only thing that's going to happen to the cotton then is
It's gonna get
cold.
it's already wet. So then
It's gonna
it's going to freeze. You don't want that. You don't want a piece of frozen equipment on your head. So that being said, it's polyester. All right, repels water better than cotton. All right, you see I have, it's called a shema, or some people have the name drive-on rag. There's a whole bunch of different names out there for it. Kif, I forget the name that they call it in I think it's kefir. But anyway, I don't want to mess that up anymore. But traditional rag, you can use a regular piece of cloth for this. You don't necessarily have to have that. All right, but it keeps definitely wind burn. Anytime your skin is exposed, you have winds. You want to ensure that you keep the burn from the wind down, keep from chapping, just like how your lips chap. That's from wind. Wind does that. If you have moisture in your skin, that wind comes and dries off your skin for the most part, and it starts to chap you up. Let's go with your skin itself. All right, for cold temperatures, you want to try to use Vaseline instead of lotion. All right, when I say Vaseline, Vaseline has a better protective coating than lotion. Lotion has water in it. All right, and essentially what it will do, it'll dry itself up also. If you don't have Vaseline though, use lotion, correction. Use lotion. All right, but at a minimum, you want to try to use something with a petroleum base to it. Everybody got me?
Yes.
All right, so we start talking layers of clothes. The most important thing to do is to layer your clothing in an environment where it's cold, especially that temperature, 19 degrees. Because with 19 degrees, you're probably going to have a bit of a wind chill, which really the temperature is going to be colder than 19. All right, it'll register 19 on the thermometer, but the actual temperature on the ground will be colder than that. So you want to ensure that you start with your lighter layers first. Lighter stuff. Put it where it's accessible. You want to start with something light, all right, and build up if you have to build up. Yes, ma'am.
I actually know why you have to start with light.
Go ahead.
Because if you start with heavy, then you're not going to be able to get any more layers on because it's so bulky.
You're correct. All right. So most everything I have on this table so far is a polyester blend material. All right. Moisture wicking allows air to still move. You don't want to start off with your body temperature already. If you're moving off for the first time for the day and you're already warm, you're already in trouble. Because all your body's going to do now to continue to regulate your temperature is sweat. You want to feel a little bit of a chill. All right? So when you put all your clothing on and you're already warm and bundled up, it's like I can stay here all day cozy like this. You're going to hurt yourself in the end because your body now, all it's going to do is start sweating off that excess temperature and your clothing is going to get wet. In turn, what you want to do is have it where you can feel a slight chill, a little bit of a coolness to your body, to your skin before you start moving. As you start moving, your body's going to start building its temperature, and then you'll start to bring your core temperature will start to come up some. All right. So we start with the thinnest layer that we possibly can have. One way I look at it, if you can see through it, all right, it's pretty thin, but it still offers the same amount of warmth depending on what temperature you're in, and it also keeps your skin protected. All right, my first choice in a 20-degree weather situation would be this. The second heavyweight. This is a moderate weight one, Moderate weight, 100% polyester, thermal setup. All right. I would wait till the evening when that temperature is getting ready to drop down to 19 degrees and then start digging out this. All right. We call these, nickname for it is a waffle top. All right. As you can see inside, the part that actually touches your skin still has areas inside that allows air to circulate through there. All right, it's not all one bulky piece of equipment or clothing that just sits up against your skin. So that being said, you still got air that can circulate around your body. From there, we step up to another 100% polyester piece of clothing. A little more expensive, the windbreakers. All right, a lot cheaper. $5 at Walmart. All right, can't beat it. The best $5 I spent when I was as a drill sergeant on the range all day in cold temperatures. All right, I wore that underneath my uniform. No one ever knew the difference because it looked like one of my tan t-shirts that I'm supposed to wear anyway, but I was warm, and I can't say the same for others. All right. Then you have what's called a jacket liner. All right, this item has polyfill inside of it. It's padded. All right, and inside you wear this. Some wear it as an outer garment, but it's made to be worn as an undergarment for a jacket. You put your jacket over the top of this. The old field jackets used to go inside of those perfectly, but this builds that barrier, polyester close to the skin, heavier jacket, which was made out of cotton, the old field jackets that we had. So that being said, this would keep your body temperature regulated the same. Start moving to even heavier items. All right. And you can see from the weight alone of this piece of equipment, this jacket, all right, temperature inside this, if you were to start moving around inside this during the day, you would be sweating immediately, all right? And then lastly, your overcoat is made out of Gore-Tex. Definitely keeps wind and water. It's waterproof also. So there's two things that I don't like to do. I don't like it cold, and I really don't like it wet. So I can get one or the other. When we get both of them together, I turn miserable. I don't like both together. That combination is the worst. But I can operate in that temperature if I have to in weather conditions, because once I start layering my gear, I can start peeling off. As I start getting warmer throughout the day, I can start peeling my gear off until I get to a point where I can still operate without breaking a sweat during that portion of the day.
That's why you had on shorts.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about it. All right, so we're going to go over a couple of things that we want. So we talked earlier, how many calories did we have with our MRE?
1,285.
Why is it important to have a lot of calories during the winter months?
So you can burn a lot of them too and still have calories.
There you go, calorie reserve. You want to have those on reserve. All right, so when you need to be able to exert energy, you can have that calories, bottom line, equal energy as long as they're being used. Calories stored start equaling. There we go. All right. So I didn't go over this earlier. We all seen the hand warmers, yes? The same thing happens with our MRE heater. So if I chose not to heat my food with it, or even while heating my food, and I poured my small amount of water in there, automatically I can start producing heat. All right, Same concept as your hand warmers. It gets oxygen to it. It's going to start to heat up as it should. That's why I got one that probably don't work. It's okay. Let it start doing something. But anyway, you definitely want your poncho. You want your poncho because if we're in a temperature like that, the likelihood of snow or precipitation continuing to fall, that may still persist. So that being said, is precipitation that does not freeze turns to water. All right, it's going to waterlog your gear. So if you're going to be there for a period of time, you're going to definitely put that shelter up and periodically go and push whatever precipitation is on top of it. Make sure that you take that, push it off of it. You don't want it starting to weigh you down. All right. We went over our fire starter already, and we went over our multi-tool. Make sure that you have something with you in order to work with. The problem with an environment like that, with wet logs, twigs, trees, branches, all right, is that you're going to have to work a little while to dry them out before they're able to actually catch fire, okay? So that being said, is you have to be very, very patient when building your own fire. That being said, is if you run into stuff along the way, someone happens to litter out there, they just hooked you up, they helped you out. They bought you a few more seconds of fire. I can smell it, so I know it's working. Yep, there it is. All right, so it starts, as this begins to heat, you can use this. If excess to continue to warm your hands if you need to. But the number one thing that you want to have, like we talked about, is your gloves. All right, gloves, same thing as every piece of equipment that's here, keeps wind and cold temperature off your skin itself, keeps from drying your hands out, makes sure you have the ability to work. All right, we talked about this in our backpacking and our little bit of first aid. You also want to ensure that you have what in your body? Water, because who's felt cramps in the cold weather? Who's ever felt that? It's not a good feeling. All right, and it's simply your body telling you that you do not have enough fluids inside your body at this point in time. Who has questions for me as we talk about cold weather survival? Everybody sleeping on me? Y'all sleeping on me?
No.
Okay.
It means you're doing good.
All right, this thing stinks. All right, is that it? We're good. Cold weather, we start talking cold weather injury. Cold weather injury, number one is you have to, it's highly advised that you don't enter a cold weather situation by yourself, number one. You always want somebody with you. Here's the reason you want that person with you. You can check each other for signs and symptoms of cold weather injury, all right? Checking each other for cold weather injury means if you're giving me slurred speech now, and I know you weren't doing that before, that's not normally how you talk. There's an issue going on. Something's going on. All right? At that point in time, I need to start assessing you and finding out what's the issue. Have you drank water? Are you okay? What are some of the signs and symptoms that go along with that? Once that person starts losing their mental stability, mental focus, all right, that's a very dangerous situation. They need to be removed from there. We talk caves. I didn't go over caves with you. A cave is a good and bad thing all at the same time. Caves, number one, have limited oxygen in them. So a cave and fire is almost a no-no. All right? Because I deplete the oxygen that's in the cave, the fire actually will end up going out on its own after a while. But once that fire goes out, you're in a really, really bad situation there, because the three things to make fire is oxygen, combustion, and fuel. So the three things. All right, some type of fuel source, your twigs, whatever I put on it to make it. Ignition, meaning some type of heat source. All right, and it needs oxygen to continue to thrive. In a cave, you have limited oxygen because air doesn't flow freely in and out of a cave. So once I've depleted the oxygen inside of a cave environment, I'm now risking the oxygen that I should have been breathing is now taken away with the fire because I wanted to stay warm. So caves, if you're going to enter a cave during a cold weather situation, I would suggest that you enter it, but stay layered up. Don't get in a cave situation and think it's okay to start downgrading your gear or your clothing because you want to stay warm. You want to warm up to a fire. If you're going to have a fire, it can't be in the same environment normally in a cave environment. Everybody got that? All right. Because pretty much, once you go to sleep, you're probably not waking back up. All right? Moving with your battle buddy or moving with your friend, in an environment with cold weather. They also can check you if something was to happen to you and they needed to go get help. All right, that's why you want to move with more than one person whenever you're moving in a cold weather situation. Not front yard cold weather, but out and about cold weather. All right, moving to a campsite. All right, and lastly, hypothermia. Hypothermia can happen in warm climates as well as it can happen in cold climates. Hypothermia is your body's reaction trying to get itself back warmed up because your core temperature is now dropped. All right. Main thing you have to do is remember, if you have cold, wet clothing and the temperature has dropped drastically, you try to remove that clothing and get warm clothing up as close as you can to that body. If there's a fire, you don't take the person or individual and put them right next to the fire. You put them a distance away from the fire, a moderate distance where they still can feel the heat and gradually warm up, because you don't want to take them from all the way cold to all the way hot too fast. All right, you want to gradually warm that person up and allow that heat to radiate over towards them, not direct heat like you would be cooking. Everybody got me?
Yes.
Okay. That should have covered everything I had for this morning's class on cold weather survival.
Okay, welcome back. And as you can see, cold weather camping or cold weather survival don't have to be that bad. Again, gear preparation is the key. Knowing the environment you're going to be in, having a heads up on what the weather conditions should be like, how cold it's going to be. Do they expect rain? Do they expect sleet? Do they expect snow? Knowing what's going to be expected in the potential area that you're going to be camping at will save you a lot of pain and a lot of headache. So again, prepare for the cold, prepare for winter camping, for summer camping, for any outing that you're going to be participating in. Preparation is the key. So with that in mind, we hope that you guys have an enjoyable cold weather camping experience. And as in always, remember, we are the Pathfinders United, uniting Pathfinders around the world. Until next time.